Hello, hello, hello. This is it. This is our last week of Feeling Alive in 2025. I have several announcements to make, so I want everybody to please pay attention. We have a final move of the week, which is a squat, which is putting your arms and broadening your chest out like this, and then standing up and putting your arms up. So you're going to squat and have your arms out like this. And then when you stand up, you're going to go up over your head. And the goal is to keep the shoulders back and just open up the chest. So that is our move of the week this week. Last week, our move of the week was around the world. Those were really, really good for balance and also for the glutes. So this is a good one for the glutes and the arms as well. So you get a real full body workout. Um, Also, if you haven't checked in for this week, please check in for this week. We have winners all across the board. We have Lori Herman and Michelle Meldy are both at warrior status. So congratulations, ladies. And I am in the running for top achiever. So I'm really excited about that as well. Um, Lastly, the um the check-in next week, we'll have two check-ins. Make sure you do both check-ins because if you don't, you won't get your medals, and we all work hard. And even though the medals are kind of corny, is at least a reminder of what you've achieved for yourself over the last 9 weeks. So the first check-in is just like every other check-in that you do every week. So is for the ninth week of a check-in. And then after that check-in, then you will do a final check-in, and that is an overall review of the uh, JuvaFit challenge, the overall thing. So there'll be two check-ins next week, one for week 9 and one for overall. If you only do one of the check-ins and not both of the check-ins, you make yourself ineligible for any prizes. I would also like to encourage every single person on this team to enroll in Transformation uh, Champion. Each category, strong, wellness, fat loss, and core health, will all have a transformation champion. It does not matter about your points or anything like that. So if you're not a top achiever, you can still be a transformation champion. Here is what I would encourage you to do. You will win $150 in free product if you're a winner in the category. So what you need to do for that is you need to submit your before and your after photos. And then you also need to write a short, call it 6, 7 sentences, is why you are a transformation champion. Michelle and Lori, you both have amazing stories of empowerment and overcoming obstacles and focusing on your health and wellness. I would strongly, 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 strongly urge you to submit that because you get to be eligible for free products. And then when you get your little, and so you're going to email that to the JuvaFit people at juva.com. I don't know if it's juva at juvafit.com or juvafit at juva.com. They said two different things last night in the call. It'll be in the email that'll come into your inbox, but please submit it. The worst that can happen is you get nothing. But by writing that down and emailing that to them, I think is empowering to remind yourself how far you've come. So I was one of the first transformation champions last year when they did this. And it was an emotional write for me, but it's wonderful to go back and look at and remind myself how far I've come. So I would say, do it, do it, do it. If you don't win, you don't win, but you can't win if you don't enter, right? So anyway, so two check-in, transformation champions, you're eligible. And really, if you tug at their heartstrings, I'm telling you, you will win. Um, and then I also said that Lori and Michelle are both warriors. If you haven't checked in for this week, please make sure you check in because you want to make sure you get all your points. And then next week you'll have the two check-ins, the ninth week check-in and then the overall check-in. So that's the big deal that I had to share with everybody before we get started on our call tonight. So one of the things that I'm very proud of that we did as part of this team is we each chose a word that would allow us to hone in for those 63 days. And those days when you just weren't feeling it, and boy, oh boy, the wintertime, a lot of times you just don't feel it. There's snow, there's ice, there's rain, there's winds, there's bad moods, there's good days, there's bad days, there's just struggles that we all go through. But the key was to remind yourself of your word and to continue that throughout the challenge. So I'm hoping that that really was very helpful to everyone on the team to have their word and to remind themselves that on those days when you're not feeling it, maybe you should go back to your word. So last night, the JuvaFit commit call was an exciting one. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it because I stepped out of my comfort zone and did my around the world, which when I went back and looked at it, I'm like, oh my goodness, I looked like I weighed 5,000 pounds and I was just critical, but I did it anyways. And I'm here to say that I won a free packet of Nutra HG, which I'm very excited about because that's almost $100 product. So this next week they're going to be giving, thank you, Michelle. This next week they're going to be giving us giving the winner M fight, something M fight. So it's free and all you have to do is put yourself out there. So take a video. Bill's never around when I'm doing these things, so I literally propped my phone on a rug cleaner bottle and videotape myself, and it wasn't perfect and I didn't care. But the goal is just to help encourage people in the community to keep doing what they're doing. And go back and rewatch the replay because the move of the week this week is a good one for opening up the chest, the arm, and the bums with those squats. So you can do it sitting down. And the goal is not to race through it. The goal is to really be conscious of the movement itself. So you want to make sure those shoulders are pulled back and dropped and that your arms are level. And then when you stand up, you can even do that. And I even did like a little, I didn't jump up in the air because my foot wouldn't appreciate that, but I even did a little, to try to get the adrenaline up a little bit, but just make sure that you're paying attention to form more than going really fast. Okay. Um, Last night they talked about the M Fight oil. I use this oil all the time. I go through about 2 bottles a month. They also talked about the M Fight capsules. If you're feeling constipated or you feel like you're not getting enough um, roughage in your diet, the M Fight capsules will really help with moving things out. It helps to release toxins within your body. The oil is probably one of my very favorite products. And the oil is something that I use on my skin. And I also use it, I ingest it. And if you recall, a couple weeks ago when Dr. Bob was on the JuvaFit Commit call, he talked about how if you're having a hard time sleeping, you need more oil. So take 2 or 3 droppers full of that oil before you go to sleep, and you'll probably have a better night's sleep. I'm finding that now that I'm doing that again, because I needed that reminder, that I'm actually having dreams, which I don't usually recall. I'm assuming I'd probably dream every night, but I'm actually having better restful, that deep sleep. So anyways, make sure you watch that video from last night. It was a really good one. They also talked about non-negotiables, which we'll get to in a minute. But the first thing that I want you guys to share with me is what what really, really, really went well for you this challenge? We all have our ups and downs and those days when we don't do things that we're supposed to do and we know we're supposed to do. But what went really well, or even better, what did you learn about yourself in this challenge? Because what I love about this challenge is not about anybody else but me. What can I do? What can I choose? What can I do for myself? So Michelle, you want to go first, please?
Yes, for me, what went really well, this challenge is my movement and strength training. I feel so much stronger in 63 days. I have a long way to go, but setting goals and meeting them when it comes to strength and movement. So I was really proud of myself for that. I feel stronger. Um, yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Did you learn anything about yourself?
Well, I used to be really strong, and I guess as I get older, I can still be strong. I can still do some weightlifting and things and feel strong. It's
So
been a
it's
long time since I felt this strong, probably 4 or 5 years.
right. And it's a day-to-day commitment, right? So we don't have this perfect upcline like we'd like the stock market to have. We have these ups and downs like the stock market has, right? So perfect. Lori, how about you?
Um, oh my gosh, what went well is I made a decision to put my health first and to stay focused. And I also was reminded of the power of what a habit can do for you, developing good habits and breaking bad ones. And I
Yes,
know it's harder to break bad ones than it is to develop good ones. So, what I did is I focused on the new healthy habits that I wanted to create for
perfect,
myself.
perfect. For me, what I realized is that I am able to get a lot more movement and a lot more strength in my activity. I did get stronger this time. I didn't have the weight loss that I wanted, but I did lose inches. My clothes are fitting much differently in a good way, in a good way. Um, but but what I realized is that my commitment to myself, and on those days when I'm really not feeling it, that I'm getting a lot more movement in than I give myself credit for. So the tracking really helped me to recognize that, because standing in the kitchen prepping food for an hour and a half is movement. You're not sitting on your buckets in front of a computer or anything. Cleaning the house is movement. Doing laundry and moving laundry around is movement. So I got much better this time at making sure that I didn't stay glued to my computer for work, and got up and moved around multiple times a day. So that was a big win for me. And my commitment, which was my word, really helped me to get moving, because in the wintertime, I could hole up and become an eating bear. And doing that first thing in the morning and literally scheduling my day around it was a big deal for me. So let's talk about briefly your word and how your word helped you move through these past few weeks. Michelle?
Well, I chose the word motivation because I had some unhealthy things happen with my health last fall, and I was super frustrated. So when I think, oh, today doesn't matter, this choice doesn't matter, I get motivated to say, I don't want to go back to that. I need to be better able to handle a fall. My balance is very good. So it was shocking that I fell, but at the same time, I did fall and break 5 bones, and I had a heart incident. So yeah, it keeps me motivated to stay out of the hospital, stay out of the doctor's office, not waste my money on doctors that are telling me things I already know, investigations that I knew would lead to nowhere, right? But
Great.
you have to do it. So there's a lot of money and time wasting for me. So I replaced that time that I spent at doctor's appointments, at therapy appointments, with the EP or the cardiologist with, filling it with more movement, more strength training.
That's a powerful story. You need to submit that, please.
I will do that. Sorry, Rosie's at my feet right now, trying to clean my floor.
Lori, your word.
My word was focus. And I've been through a lot this past year. And so that's why I chose focus, because I know the power of positive thinking. And I know that a person can go in a spiral downhill into a negative state of mind. So my focus was to stay positive and just do what I need to do to heal and get to a better physical health status than what I was last year. Because I spent a whole year doing bad things. And I was seeing and noticing the big difference of what stress and grieving and depression can do to one's body. So I wanted to stay focused on positivity.
And I have to tell you, in my mind, you are just an amazing, amazing woman. I've seen big changes in you physically and psychologically, and your story is also powerful. You need to submit it because it's a true heartfelt story about a journey of bringing everything back to Lori, right?
Mhm.
You brought everything back to what does Lori need? And I could cry. I'm just really, really happy for you because you look just
Thank you.
amazing. And I know if you continue on it, that you will do well as well.
Thank
My
you.
focus was commitment. The wheels fell off the cart for me over the holidays. I did a lot of traveling, a lot of drinking, and had a lot of fun. And I even had Cuban sandwiches coming out of my nostrils, which is a whole nother funny story.
You're in
But
Florida, you gotta have a Cubano. Come on.
oh, when I got home, I ordered a Cubano kit with the goal of, taking the ingredients and making it keto-ish, but it came on this delicious Cubano bread, and I'm here to tell you we ate them. And then they made an error in my order, so we got two sets of them. So we ate way too many Cubanos. I'm Cubanoed out. But hey, when in Florida, you gotta. But my word was commitment. And for me, these first 3 months of the year are the hardest months for me because even though I live in a warmer climate, it could still get cold. You can still want to hibernate. Um, we got the norovirus over the holidays, and that really set me back. I wasn't eating anything for days, and then I felt like I couldn't stop eating. So it was a big roller coaster for me. But the commitment really kind of brought me back to center. And it's like, okay, think about what you've done the last 5 years. You can do this for 9 weeks. So on the days that it wasn't quite so perfect, I would immediately stop, get back on track. I didn't say, oh, it's a whole day, which is what I would have done in the past. A whole day is blown. I might as well go whole hog. I didn't do that this time. And then I also started working on building some physical strength up because I've gotten very, very weak the last few years, just focusing on my foot and not really paying attention to other parts of my body. So, commitment was my word, and it was very, very helpful for me to say, okay, you promised yourself you do 2 strength training sessions. And they didn't even have to be that long because I was walking 35 to 40 minutes every day. I couldn't even get off the couch 5 years ago. So I'm very proud of myself. My average walk this challenge was probably 1 3/4 mile and not just 1 mile. So I really committed to stretching and challenging myself. So yeah. Okay. Now, drum roll, as we end all challenges, because what we want to make sure we do is make sure that we focus on what we've learned these last 9 weeks and don't say, woohoo, the challenge is over. Now I'm just going to do all these crazy things again. And we don't want to backslide, because then that makes us feel badly about ourselves, and it's just not fun. It's depressing. So, what's your non-negotiable, Michelle?
Well, for me, I have such spine issues and knee movement is a non-negotiable for me. I'm not gonna go backwards with my strength. I'm lifting a granddaughter. I need to stay strong for lots of reasons, things to maintain on the home, and I want to be able to lift Piper. Like, so movement and strength, nothing's going to change because this challenge ends for me. I feel like each challenge is just an opportunity to build some, like Lori was saying, you're building new habits. It
Right,
takes 2 to 6 weeks to build a new habit. Those habits are there. So
right,
why would I go backwards just because I'm not in a challenge, right?
right,
I will keep at it. And we have some family weddings this year, a couple of family events. And yeah, I don't want to look like a bloated, yeah, I mean, some of it's vanity, right? But most of
right.
it just so that I can, I trimmed palm trees this week, very, very high palm trees with this handsaw, which in the past would have given me a bulging disc in my neck again. I could do it. I was sore, but I didn't injure myself. I was so proud. And the
That's
second time I
awesome.
did it for 20, 25 minutes, it was hard. I had to stop, but I could do it. The fact that I could do it for more than 5 minutes, it's things like
Perfect.
that. Like I don't want to hire out for something that's not really hard. I want
Right,
to be able to physically take care of those kinds of things for as long as I can. So
right.
movement and strength, it's a new habit. It's an old habit that I'm
Revisiting, right.
revisiting and fitting
Reincorporating.
into a different time in my life, making it
Perfect.
work.
Lori, what's your non-negotiable?
It's going to be movement and strength as well. Hydration is now a habit. Taking our supplements on a daily basis is now a habit. Now I need to focus on more movement. And I'm super excited that spring's right around the corner because I know me and I'm going to get out there and walk and I'm going to be more active. And I'm excited about that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, for the trifecta, movement and strength is going to be a big, big deal for me, as a non-negotiable, because I think I don't have to be so strict with my diet if I keep on moving. And what I learned in tracking this time is a lot of times I had negative calories because I would do the 2 mile walk in the morning and go out in my garden for 3 or 4 hours, and that's a lot of calories that are burned. So it was really all about balance for me. If I bust my bums one day, it means the next day I can kind of back off and maybe just do a 1 mile walk. But the movement was a big deal for me. There is something very cathartic, very healing, and very spiritual for me when I get up in the morning and go out for a walk with my dog and look at nature. I don't know how to put it into words, but I can just feel, the stress of maybe what I'm thinking about coming on that day. Just everything just seems to line up right when I start my day out that way. So for me, the non-negotiable is the movement, the daily movement, and just the commitment to keep building strength, because one of those weddings is Michelle is attending, I'm also attending, and I want people to go, wow, look at my old lady aunt or my old mom. So So that's my goal, but I really
Mm.
am doing it more for myself than for anything because when I looked at a photograph of myself at my son's wedding 8 years ago, I looked at myself and could not believe how much I had let myself go. So from that point forward, it's just been a slow progression. I haven't progressed as quickly as I wanted to, but at least I made progress. And that's what it's all about. I don't want to be on a Zoom call and people go, is she gaining that weight back again? I don't want that. I don't want that for myself. I want to keep looking younger and younger and feeling better and better. And what I'm finding is the more movement I have, the more energy I have, and the more energy I have, the better I feel about myself. So kind of all about me. Any comments, questions?
I just want to say that when I can wake up just feeling off, and after that workout, like those endorphins are for real. Like some sunlight, fresh air, like you said, the quick walk with the dog early, get it out of the way because I will put it off and then I won't do it. Whereas before, I was in a routine for 30 some years. I would stop a couple days a week on my way home from work, and then I could third workout in on Saturday. I've been really struggling with this own my own business schedule. I find I can always find myself busy. So, like you said, I have to schedule it. But those endorphins legitimately turn around my day. I can be in the biggest funk, crabby.
Mhm.
I've talked to you, Melissa. Sometimes I'm just kind of groggy that first hour and I need my workout and I need some coffee. And then, man, it just turned around like I'm ready to face everything. I don't know
Coffee.
what it is, but I'm addicted to the endorphins. I've always loved cardio. Like I'm a girl, if I could go for a 30-mile bike ride tonight, I would do. I love cardio. It's a weird thing about me. I've always been active. So when I couldn't be active, when I'm limited, it's really frustrating.
Well, there's nothing like enjoying movement when it's taken away from you because you're in so much pain or you're unable to do that. And that was the biggest lesson I learned with my head injury that I had 21 years ago, and then with the foot injury I had 5 years ago. So, you just don't know what you just don't know until it's taken away from you, right? I mean, that's true in everything in our lives.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right. Well, thank you guys for committing and being here each and every week. You have no idea how much you have motivated me to keep pushing forward because sometimes it's tough to be the coach. It's like, okay, I have to get up and get out. And it's like, I don't wanna. So it's nice to have motivation, and we'll keep checking in the Forever Young group, and let's try to get more people to join us because I think the more people that join us, the more we learn from each other. But I have learned a ton from both of you. So thank you both very, very much from the bottom of my heart. Just really appreciated your participation and your nuggets that you shared as well. So have a wonderful week. We have 5 more days we can do this. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So let's finish strong. Don't forget to check in for all of your weeks. If you missed a week, go back and check in. And and this is my motivation.
Aw.
He is an amazing coach. This morning,
Yeah.
he kept turning around and looking at me like, come on, mom, step up the pace, step up the pace. So
He is a
thank you
good coach.
guys. I love you and
Love
appreciate
you
you
guys.
both so much.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
great
Thank you
night.
so much.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye bye, guys.
bye. Have a great week, everyone.
You too.